Now that we are in the month of November, a lot of fans around the world are getting very excited and interested in the release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, given that we are only 48 days away. This is also by far the most important month by Disney and Lucasfilm to market the film correctly in order to make it a box office success. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Episode 9 that a lot of fans always are very interested about is, of course, how Palpatine, Kylo Ren, and Rey are going to be utilized in this story by JJ, Disney, and Lucasfilm, and how the interactions between these two characters, or these three characters, I should say, are really going to look like on the big screen, in motion, visually speaking. I think that is by far one of the big things that a lot of fans are very invested in as of right now. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very intense for the opening sequence of The Rise of Skywalker. Now, specifically, shot descriptions consisting of a sequence where it's explained that just after the opening crawl, there is a shot of the iconic stars in space where the camera aims down toward a planet with dozens of lightning storms happening over the surface of that world. It's explained that the shot eventually goes over to a wide shot of the world of Exegol, where a large Star Destroyer is said to emerge from underneath the surface of Exegol, where hundreds of Imperial-class Star Destroyers can be seen in the distance, now rising up where they are all said to be surrounded by lightning in the sky. This world is said to be the very planet of Palpatine's hideout and where his throne room resides, underneath the world of Exegol. The next transitions to a segment in which a pair of Sith loyalists are seen surrounding a shadowy figure, laying in a bed with wires hooked up to the wall. The figure is Darth Sidious, where there is a hood over his head, where his face is actually mysterious, where he cannot be seen. It's explained that there is a line of dialogue by Palpatine talking about how he is now awaiting the arrival of Kylo Ren and that it shouldn't be much longer, where the scene is said to jump to a segment in which Ren is inside of his Ravager Star Destroyer looking at Darth Vader's melted helmet, where he is said to be talking to the helmet this time. During the segment, it's explained that whatever voice Kylo hears in his head is said to lure him to a planet that contains Vader's Wayfinder device that will lead him to the unknown regions. This is the very world where him and the Knights of Ren slaughter a clan that actually holds Darth Vader's Wayfinder device. So let's go over a couple of parts about all of this. Now, the thing that I really want to go over here that really impresses me is that, of course, through all the reshoots and adjustments of the second and the third acts of the movie, as you guys may know, is that a lot of changes were made to the first, second, and third acts of Episode 9. A lot of things were shifted around, placed in different spots of the movie, which, could have very well been a good thing for all we know by Disney and Lucasfilm. Now, originally, the opening was going to be a flashback, and that particular scene between a young Luke and Leia was moved from being the opening of the scene to an actual scene later on in the first act of Episode 9. So, I think that, honestly, that might have been a good move. I mean, we have never seen a Star Wars movie open up in the form of a flashback, though I think it really would have worked. But it's actually being saved at a later point in time in the movie, where this opening scene actually sets up Palpatine's role in the film immediately. And I think that's a very good move by Disney and Lucasfilm, just my point of view, in order to just set up Palpatine's role in The Rise of Skywalker right when you go ahead and watch this movie right away after the opening crawl. So let's go over the first segment here, and this is actually going to allude to what we saw in the final trailer, where the camera is said to aim down toward the world of Exegol, like a bird's eye view of the world, where you do see tons of lightning storms over the surface of the planet. Basically, you are looking at the atmosphere of the world, watching all these lightning storms take place, where it cuts to a segment in which numerous Star Destroyers are literally seen emerging from the surface of the world. So Palpatine and his new Sith Empire, in case you guys did not know, his new Sith Empire is actually said to be hidden underneath the actual ground of the world, underneath the actual surface of the planet. That's exactly why in the trailer we do see one Imperial-class Star Destroyer emerging from the literal ground of that world, and that's just one of them. What's actually explained here is that it's hundreds of them emerging from the surface of Exegol, eventually rising into the sky with tons of lightning seen surrounding the actual Star Destroyers. Now, what I like about the world of Exegol is that the lightning is almost like an outward manifestation of the evil that Darth Sidious really has. It really is. I mean, it really shows us that, this movie's going to be very dark when it comes to Palpatine, and that leads us to Palpatine, where he's actually said to be hooked up to a wall, laying down on some kind of medical table where his face is hidden. You can't really see him in the very beginning of the film, but he does indeed deliver dialogue about how he is now awaiting Kylo Ren and that it should not be much longer. To where it concludes where we have Kylo Ren inside of his chambers communicating with Darth Vader's melted helmet, and he's actually talking to somebody, that most likely is Palpatine from the other leaks that we went over, that leads him to Darth Vader's Wayfinder device. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon we hear them moans again.